Hey guys, before we begin the sports talk, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry about the poor quality of audio and video in this episode, but I hope you guys can stay through and listen to the whole thing. It would be very much appreciated. And yeah, please enjoy. All right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on?
Sports Talk number 3. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry to our viewers that I couldn't make it last week. I was making some business deals.
No, they know exactly what you were doing. You were with your grandpa on your grandpa's birthday.
Business deals.
I told them that it was your grandpa's birthday. What are you talking about?
I was making business deals for a YouTube channel while Mike was sitting on his butt.
All right, but what's up, everybody? Mic'd up Mike and Jock back here with another video. We're joined by a special guest, my cousin, Young Mitch. Introduce yourself.
Mitch in the house. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Young Mitch, and I am
Getting rich.
getting
rich. So, you know what it is. Regular sports talk, regular stuff. So, Jock, Mitch. Bro, can you stop? So we got some interesting topics, some hot new things happened this week, and we're going to jump right into them. The first topic we're going to be talking about is there's a whole situation going on with Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, guys. So as you know, as the professional sports analysts we have to think of trade destinations and where they would fit the best. As for our courtesy, Mitch is our first guest on this show, so we're going to give him the microphone.
So I think first of all for Andre Drummond, I think a good fit for him would be the Raptors because currently their main big is Chris Boucher and standing at 6'10", he's not very good at getting rebounds in the paint. Well, so Andre Drummond is known for getting rebounds because I think he has like the most rebounds. I think, don't quote me on that, but he has a very high amount of rebounds and averages a high amount of rebounds every single season. And I think a good lineup for the Raptors would be Larry at the 1, Kevin at the 2, OJ Anunoby at the 3, Chris Boucher at the 4, and Andre Drummond at the 5. And as for Blake Griffin, I think since this is the last year of his deal, I think a good place for him to retire, which is what he will most likely do after his contract's over, is the Lakers, and maybe he can get a chip. And because when he was in Lob City, it didn't really work out, even though they're a very powerful team. I think it would be, he wouldn't even be starting on the Lakers. I think he would be like the 9th man off the bench.
Very cool. So, I agree with Mitch. Mitch was basically right about Andre Drummond. I really feel like Toronto is definitely a really good destination. I don't know where else it would really be good for him unless, basically Toronto is the best destination for him. And I heard that they're in really heavy talks with Toronto, so good for him. As for Blake Griffin, though, I don't know. I don't know about the Lakers because they got AD is playing at that power forward position and center position, so I wouldn't really want to mess with that too much, even though he's going through a little bit of an Achilles situation right now. So I don't know. It depends on really how much money Blake Griffin is going to be asking for because he's still at a 12-point per game scorer. So I don't know. I wouldn't expect him to be signing for the veterans minimum, obviously. I think that a good destination maybe for Blake Griffin would be the Celtics. I think that it would be pretty valid to have Blake Griffin coming off the bench for them as a big, because I know that, because it would be pretty good to have someone back up to Robert Williams. I wouldn't want to mess with his development because, obviously he needs time to play as a starter, but they definitely need someone off the bench because the Celtics are a really strong team. So, Jock, let's hear your opinion.
Okay, the person who should have gone first and not wait for you two. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Yeah, that's right. You gaining up on me? Tag team out here? What do you think this is?
We're not fighting you. We're not fighting you. We're having a sports talk with you.
I think Andre Drummond should not go to the Raptors because I think he'll be wasting his time there. They're not a playoff team. I don't think so. They're not going to be in the championship. The team that he should go to is the Brooklyn Nets because they need a center after trading Jared Allen. They need a center because DeAndre Jordan is getting his butt whooped.
Who could they trade for? Who could they trade to get Andre Drummond? Tell me on the Nets.
I don't think they'll be able to trade for him. I think the only way that they can get Andre Drummond is through a buyout if Cleveland Cavaliers buy him out. Another really good destination, I think, for Andre Drummond, it would probably be the Dallas Mavericks because they need a center. I think they need a center that can play along with Kristaps Porzingis, who can like ease some of the pressure off him because he wouldn't need to rebound as much or do all these certain things that Andre Drummond does.
What about Willie Cauley-Stein though?
I don't think Willie Cauley-Stein's an NBA player.
So where is he?
I don't know, but I'm better than him. I'm
having this conversation right now.
Another really good destination, I think, for Andre Drummond is the New York Knicks.
All right,
I think that's a really good destination because now Mitchell Robinson's out for 6 weeks. Also, Andre Drummond would fit really good in Tom Thibodeau's defensive scheme because he can grab so many rebounds for them. And I think he'll be a great addition for the New York Knicks because they need talent and they need talent now.
What about Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin, I don't think he's going to get traded anywhere because he has totally killed his value this season. I don't know if he's playing hurt or I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if it's just the situation going on with the Detroit Pistons there and he just doesn't like his role or if he's playing injured because I know either last season or a couple of seasons ago, he was battling knee injuries and maybe that has finally caught up with Blake Griffin. I think he is probably going to be bought out by the Detroit Pistons. I don't think no team will trade for him. One, because I think he's playing on his max contract. And two, he's completely a shell of himself. He's totally dropped his value. I think he's averaging 12 points per game. That's pretty much it. A good situation for Blake Griffin will probably be the Celtics because they need a low post scoring big man. He can, still provide you 12, 15 points. I feel like their offense is predicated more around the court rather than the low post because Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker are, they're straight shooters. They're not low post players. I don't really see any other team like that for Blake Griffin out there. Oh, maybe actually Portland Trailblazers. That wouldn't be a bad team for Blake Griffin. I think they're the 4th seed right now. They're also a little injured. Yusuf Nurkic, he's out with a wrist injury. CJ McCollum.
Yusuf
isn't it Yusuf?
Yusuf Nurkic.
No, yeah, Yusuf Nurkic. Bro, I can't pronounce these European names, bro. Just deal with it. It's not like I'm far off.
You're European.
They're missing basically 2 of their starters in their starting 5. Yusuf Nurkic and CJ McCollum, I think, with a foot injury. So he would probably provide some sort of ease for Damian Lillard because I know Damian Lillard is going off right now with 30 points per game. So, yeah, I feel like those are some of the destinations for Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin.
I mean, he does have a player option next year, so he could technically opt in wherever he gets traded.
If I was him, I would opt in. If I was him, I would opt in.
Yeah, no, it's free money. Yeah, obviously he would opt in.
Yeah, because he's not going to get that contract afterwards. He's not going to get that unless if he magically just finds it on a playoff team and recuperates his old self, then maybe. But as of right now, I don't see any other NBA team offering him the kind of contract that the Clippers did a couple years ago.
Okay.
I think he'll be a good fit on the Phoenix Suns because obviously Blake Griffin. Because obviously his old Lob City teammate is there, which would give him a morale boost, which would automatically make his game better. And also, it will be a very powerful lineup with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Ayton. Maybe this is the veteran that they need to teach DeAndre Ayton to improve his skills.
I don't know. I mean, I feel what you're saying about the chemistry, but it's just because that you get a player not as good as before on the same team as one of their old teammates, it doesn't automatically make them better. For example, Dwayne Wade was nearing the end of his career and he got traded to the Cavs, and LeBron James was on the Cavs. And Dwayne Wade was still an exceptional player towards the end of his career, but that doesn't mean that he was he was still a shell version of his own old self. So I don't know about like just adding that just because it's the teammate. So I don't know if that would really make any sense. But I see where you're coming from with there. But I actually wanted to ask you guys a question in regards to how Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond are being treated because as of recently, they've been told that they're going to be benched until they get traded. So how do you guys feel about that? And how like what do you think is right? Because I think Draymond Green was saying something about how it was wrong of it's wrong of them, and every player deserves the same amount of respect. So in a press conference, Draymond Green said, "At some point, as players, we need to be treated with the same respect and have the same rights that the team can have. Because as a player, you're the worst person in the world when you want a different situation. But a team can say they're trading you, and that man is to stay in shape. He is to stay professional, and if not, his career is on the line." So that was relating to Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin being benched until further notice. So, Jack, let's hear from you.
Okay, so in terms of the benching, I get both sides to it. One side, I think what I'm assuming from the management side, in terms of like the benching of players, they don't want the player to get injured and then devalue his trade value. So I get why they're benching him. I just don't agree the fact that he's not playing any games because I think that's a little too far. In terms of what Draymond said, I get it from the player situation. Like you have to be like you expect the players to be professional, stay in shape. But I agree with Draymond on this. I don't think that players should sit out, like be benched, sit out, and don't play games at all.
I don't know. I think it's not like inhumane, but it's just like kind of disrespectful, especially to a player like Andre Drummond, and especially to a player who's created a legacy such as Blake Griffin. Like you're literally just sitting them and not playing them until potentially they find a trade in the next month, because the trade deadline is like the end of March. So you're really gonna sit Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond until that day, or if you find a trade before that, like come on, I don't. That's really not respectful to the player, and obviously they don't want to get them injured. But like for example, like it's kind of a risky situation. But if you're sitting them, other teams could think that something bad is with the player. It could make them think that the player is really injury prone and they just didn't notice it or something like that. So it could also have a lot of negative aspects to it too. So you'd rather just let the player play, maybe have some more outstanding performances so they could raise their trade value even more, maybe like by having some great performances. Although I don't know if it would have a really big impact. So yeah, I think that I honestly fully agree with what Draymond said. I think that they shouldn't be benching them at all. And obviously, I could see where the organizations are coming from, but it's just you can't stop a person from doing their job and doing what they love, doing what they, you know, like what they came to the NBA for.
The Andre Drummond benching is a little weird. It's a little surprising to me because Andre Drummond is also a very underrated center. I think he's like one of the best centers in the league. Like he's averaging like 20 and 15 rebounds a game. Like he's probably the best rebounder in the game. So I don't understand why the Cleveland Cavaliers would bench him and not play him because he can still provide a really good rebounding for them.
Yeah, for sure. But Mitch, what you got?
So I think it's wrong, like as for the man to do that, but I also think it's benefiting them because in the recent years they changed that the top three picks in the draft have the same odds. I mean, I know that has nothing to do with the topic, but benching Andre Drummond, or Blake Griffin, which are both of those teams like pretty good starters, would lower their amount of wins, which would most likely get them a better pick. So I think it's wrong to mention that, but it also benefits each of the teams.
There's my cousin Roach. So all-star starters were released so far. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about who we think got snubbed.
You sound like a son.
My all-star snub for the starters is Donovan Mitchell, honestly, because Donovan Mitchell has been doing great this season. He's been leading the Utah Jazz to the best record in the West. Jacko, I know you're heartbroken over your little Lakers stuff and situation. Whatever. Oh my God, my computer is gonna die. So yeah, because Donovan Mitchell has been leading them to the best record in the West, and honestly, I think that's a great accomplishment. The Utah Jazz definitely deserve that. But besides that, Donovan Mitchell he's been a really all-around player for the Utah Jazz, and I honestly think he deserves it. He's defense, offense, all of it. He's a leader, and yeah, I think that James, if you say that, bro, who's your all-star snub? Who's your all-star snub? Tell me right now, bro. Tell me right now. Because you got all these ridiculous shits. LeBron James is there, bro. You hype? What do you, what? I want to hear it. Tell me, please.
Oh, Damian Leonard got snubbed, bro.
What are you talking about? Bro, Steph Curry deserves him way more than Damian Lillard.
Take over Luka.
Luka deserves him more than Damian Lillard.
I don't know about that. One, he's averaging 30 points per game. 30. Okay? And on top of that, he's doing that without CJ McCollum and Nurkic.
All right, so in my opinion, I think the All-Star snub was James Harden. Even though Bradley Beal is balling out the season, James Harden is the best. Even though Bradley Beal is balling out the season, I think James Harden still deserves it over him because either for Bradley Beal or Kyrie Irving, because James Harden is the best ISO player of all time, and even though he can be switched with Kyrie Irving or Bradley Beal, but in my opinion, I think he should be switched with Kyrie Irving because Bradley Beal is very good.
All right, so I think that Bradley Beal deserves that spot way more than James Harden because James Harden is balling out. He's coming to everyone's surprise, actually, in terms of the Brooklyn Nets. So I think that Bradley Beal definitely deserves that way more. He's leading the Washington Wizards in a way that nobody really could, even though they're still losing. But I think that Bradley Beal deserves a spot way more than James Harden does, and that's it. So to close it off, let's go for our team of the week this week. We're gonna let our honorary guest Mitch select the team and why.
So I think the team of the week is the Utah Jazz because their young star Don Mitchell have been doing very well, and they have the best record in the East. And in the past, there was a lot of controversy about Rudy Gobert's $210 million contract because like people like Shaquille O'Neal, one of the best centers of all time, said that all he did was grab a ball when it bounced off the rim. But recently, he's been showing that he can do much more than that. And I think that's why the Utah Jazz deserve to be the team of the week.
So, Jock, any oppositions or you agree with that?
No, I think the team of the week is the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, we're gonna cut you off right there. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming back to another.
Wait, the Lakers are the team of the week.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming back to another episode of Sports Talk. If you liked it, make sure to like, thumbs up, all that stuff, comment, subscribe, notification button on if we have that one. Young Mitch, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for the opportunity. I am your biggest fan. Yes.
He always comments on our videos first. Oh yeah, virtual dap jock up. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, we hope to see you guys next time. This week we got some fun stuff coming up for on our channel, so stay tuned. And yeah, Jock, any words? Last words? Final words?
And I'll just see you guys next Thursday.
Okay.